Good day, everyone. My name is David Chu. I'm the Head of International Business of SW Australia. Today, we're very pleased to have Jo Orgill to share with us the opportunities for Australian companies in Hong Kong. Jo, whom I know for a long time, she is now the president of the Australia Chamber of Commerce in Hong Kong, and she is very experienced in the fund management circle. So, Jo, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, David.
As Hong Kong is now focusing on its role as a superconnector and also a springboard for Australian companies into the Greater Bay Area of China, we call it the GBA. And recently, there are a number of Australian tech companies coming through Hong Kong and looking at opportunities in Hong Kong and also in the Greater Bay Area, and also further on will be China. And they're looking for various things in Hong Kong. Now, from the Chamber's perspective, what are the areas Hong Kong can offer?
Thanks, David. So I think, firstly, it's really important for people to understand, particularly from offshore, the unique set of features that Hong Kong offers that no other centre in Asia Pacific can also offer. Firstly, it sits within the world's second largest economy, but it runs on its own system with some really important distinguishing features. It has a strong and well-regulated financial sector with free flow of capital and its own exchange rate pegged to the US dollar. Also, transparent, independent, well-established legal system, a favourable and simple tax environment, access to major markets, availability of global talent, and an overall ease of conducting business. So English is still the dominant language for business in Hong Kong, which is, as I say, a distinguishing feature from some of the other major Asian centres like, say, Tokyo. So touching a little bit more on some of these things, very attractive personal and corporate tax rates, 16 and 16.5% of the top rates respectively, no VAT and no capital gains tax.
Right.
Registering a company in Hong Kong is very easy and affordable. It takes 48 hours to complete, which makes it one of the fastest in the world. We have excellent accessibility to the rest of the world. So 4 hours to most of Asia's key markets, and in fact 5 hours from half of the world's population. If you've ever tried to fundraise from Australia, you understand what an advantage that is. Hong Kong is the dominant gateway to China, of course, and particularly the tech-centric Greater Bay Area. Australians currently don't need a visa for trips that are 15 days or less. There are some other passport holders that do, but if you're based in Hong Kong, you're entitled to multi-entry visas through an expedited process. And once you have a permanent ID card, you can apply for a mainland travel permit. So particularly for the tech industry, that accessibility into the key tech hubs in China is an important advantage. We also have a very strong ecosystem here for market development. Top market standard finance, legal and insurance providers, but also logistic and supply chain management, and a very robust intellectual property rights protection regime that also enjoys policy support from the government. Hong Kong has no barriers on inward and outward investment, no foreign exchange controls. We allow 100% foreign ownership, no necessity for a local director. So all up, you can understand Hong Kong is still consistently ranked as one of the world's freest economies and one of the easiest places to do business. And that persists. Also, as you and I well know, it's a great place to live. So it is extremely safe with efficient and affordable public transport, easy access to countryside and beaches. I think outside of Hong Kong, people perhaps are not aware that something like 60-70% of Hong Kong is beautiful national park. And it's very, very proximate to the city and where we all live. Good schools, huge range of quality restaurants. I think everybody knows Hong Kong food. And it's also become a hub for arts and culture. So I think as we'll go into, a lot of what's available here, not entirely, but a lot of what's available here is predicated on being here in Hong Kong. So I think it's good for people to understand what the operating environment is and the opportunities that forwards. So coming to technology specifically, this is an area of particular focus for the Hong Kong government. The government has a specific objective under China's 14th five-year plan to develop Hong Kong into an international innovation and technology hub. The government, therefore, is very receptive to talking with international business and organisations like ours to attract business to Hong Kong. And they've launched a number of policies and schemes, including the Top Talent Pass scheme. So graduates from the world's top 100 universities, 9 of those are Australian, can get a 2-year visa here. And specifically innovation and technology professionals are on the list of target talent to import. It's also a specific goal to increase cooperation within the Greater Bay Area. They've established a one zone, two parks scenario in the Shenzhen, Hong Kong Innovation and Technology Cooperation Zone. And development of the northern metropolis region of Hong Kong is a really important long-term plan in relation to numerous strategic goals, but innovation and technology is a really big part of this, and it will be the centre of this INT zone and integration with the Shenzhen Innovation and Manufacturing Hub. So for people who are not so aware of what's in Shenzhen, it is pretty much the centre of tech and innovation in mainland China, and it's just across the border.
Yes.
So other things to mention are the generous funding and incubation programs. So the government's invested, and I'll speak in Hong Kong dollars mainly. I'll tell you when I'm not talking in Hong Kong dollars, but for people in Australia.
Hong Kong dollars are at this moment is about $5.20
yes.
To $1 Australian.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So the government's invested around 200 billion Hong Kong dollars in the past few years in INT across research and development facilities, industrial infrastructure, academic research, global R&D collaboration, and importantly, innovation and technology funds. Also, concurrently, Hong Kong is pursuing a number of initiatives to promote the development of Hong Kong into a regional intellectual property trading centre. So they're focusing on the entire ecosystem that's needed to support these goals. To assist local technology startups and entrepreneurs through that particularly vulnerable inception stage, there are a number of incubation programs run by the Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation and the Hong Kong Cyberport Management Company. And those provide subsidised office space, financial aid packages, as well as a comprehensive range of support services. Now, the Science Park incubation program welcomes applicants from around the world. However, you need a Hong Kong business registration.
Yes.
But as I mentioned, you can get that in 48 hours. In 2022, the Hong Kong Investment Corporation was established, partly to promote domestic industry development, but also to attract offshore enterprises and development. 5 billion has been allocated to a strategic tech fund and another 5 to the GBA investment fund. That's relatively domestically focused, but 30 billion has been allocated to a co-investment fund that is designed to support overseas enterprises looking to set up operations in Hong Kong. But an important thing to mention about the Hong Kong Investment Corporation's goals that they're primarily to support policy and through that Hong Kong's economic goals, as opposed to financial returns from each and every investment, which is usually the primary goal of a sovereign wealth fund. So that's just to emphasize the policy support that exists in Hong Kong for this area. As reported a couple of days ago, the Hong Kong government's also announced plans to build the city's artificial intelligence supercomputing power. Northern Metropolis is key to all of this. And in conjunction with that, roll out a more aggressive version of the Hong Kong Innovation and Technology Venture Capital Fund to attract investment into this initiative. And the last example I'll give was a recent announcement by the HKMA and Cyberport on the launch of a Gen AI sandbox to bolster AI adoption in the financial sector, which, as you know, and I think we're going to talk about, is a big sector in Hong Kong. So in sum, there's a huge amount going on, tremendous amount of government support and ambition that Australian businesses and entrepreneurs can potentially interact with.
Yeah, and that explains why you spend your last 25 years in Hong Kong.
That's right. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just the next iteration of a very dynamic and innovative economy.
Yeah. And on top of that, if I recall, the Chamber has actually invited the executive director of this Oasis initiative, which is Office of Attraction of Strategic Enterprises from around the world, to start up R&Ds in Hong Kong. And they actually can co-invest into some programs which are suitable and relevant to the various sectors.
That's right.
And if people are interested, people from Australia interested, they can always connect with AustCham or the Oasis program.